Today's video is not sponsored by Facebook, the company that revolutionized social media only a few short years ago. Today, Facebook brings together over 1 billion people on one popular platform that is accessible to anyone who has the internet and is over 12 years old, and many who are not even that old yet. Facebook used to be a great place for advertising a business for free, but they changed their algorithms a few years ago, catering more toward those who pay them to show their stuff. So now it's really hard to get people to see your business posts without giving Facebook more of the money that your business doesn't have. So if you haven't liked and followed my photography page yet, do that today by going to facebook.com/reflectinghisimage. Yes, this is shameless self-promotion. Why is this video not sponsored by Facebook? Because they would never pay me to tell you this.
Hello, my name is Joshua and I hate coffee, and today I am speaking to you from Manila, Philippines. I arrived here last night, I got a great night of sleep, and later today I am going out with a local pastor to get pictures and video of his ministry with some children. Having just finished a long trip, I decided I would talk about what makes me a crazy traveler. Or other people say I'm a crazy traveler, and I guess I agree with them. So I'm going to look at 3 reasons why people might say this. Number 1, I think that traveling is relaxing. Now, I don't think a lot of people would say this. In fact, most people I know would say that going on vacation or traveling is more stressful than it is relaxation. But for me, it's just the opposite. For example, when I step into an airport, I feel like everything else just fades away and I can just slow down and enjoy life. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying I don't enjoy being at home. I love Minnesota. I enjoy my church. I am so thankful for the opportunity to serve there. I just am trying to explain how much I really enjoy traveling. So let's take a look at a few things that might cause people to get stressed out while they're traveling. First of all, packing. Now, let me just say this. Packing should not stress you out, okay? Just throwing that out there. Make a list ahead of time. Check your list. Double check your list. If you do that, and if you don't overpack, you should be fine. I like packing. I think it's like a fun game to try to fit it all in and to try to make sure you don't overpack and make sure it doesn't weigh too much. The only times I have problems is when I don't make a list and I get to my destination and find out that I'm missing something that I really need. Second, getting to flights on time. Now, I understand that this can be very stressful if you show up for your flight and you missed it. No! But that hasn't happened to me. In fact, last year, 2017, I flew on 49 different flights and not a single time did I show up and they had shut the doors already. I've had a few times where I got to the gates and they were already boarding, but that's okay. That was more intentional than not. I don't really like to get to a gate and just sit there. I know that if a flight is delayed and you have a connection, you might miss that connection and that can be scary, but I've never had that happen either. And the times where it's been close, I just assume that the airline would be nice enough to figure out a way to eventually get me to my destination. Maybe I'm assuming too much. Speaking of delays, that can be very stressful. You know, you are intending to get somewhere by a certain time and your airplane isn't taking off or the weather is forcing things to slow down. I can understand that view, but for me, delays are great. I like delays because it means that I get to stay in one place for longer than I had previously planned. Yeah, Joshua, that's the point. You're not supposed to stay in one place longer than you previously planned. Yeah, but remember, I like going places, and so being able to stay there longer is great. A delay just means that I get to explore more or get a new experience. Last year on my way back from Ecuador, our team was delayed for about 8 hours on our first flight, so we just went back into town and ate lunch with the missionaries, and it was wonderful. My favorite delays are the ones that result from overbooked flights. A few years ago, I was in Seattle, I was leaving, and I volunteered to fly out the next day because my flight was overbooked. And so Delta put me up in a DoubleTree hotel for the night. I got a $400 travel voucher for future flights. And if you've never had a DoubleTree chocolate chip cookie, well worth the delay. Losing luggage, now that can be very stressful. Last year on my way down to Ecuador, I arrived in Ecuador only to find out that my luggage had not arrived with me. Now this was kind of scary. Not too concerning because all my important things like my cameras and stuff were in my carry-on. And I actually kind of hoped that we wouldn't find my luggage because I wanted my travel insurance to kick in. See, I'm crazy! Eventually we found out that apparently my luggage had arrived earlier. It had come on a different flight or something. Must have had better tickets than I did, I don't know. But it arrived and they put it in a storage place and they were just holding it until I came and claimed it. The second reason people would say that I'm a crazy traveler is because I take my time getting to my destination. For me, traveling is more about the experience and the journey than it is about the actual destination. Or you could say it's about multiple destinations rather than just the one. 2 years ago when I went to Slovenia, I actually flew to Venice. I spent a day in Venice. Then I drove a rental car from Venice to Slovenia. And then on the return trip, I took a train from Slovenia back to Venice, a bus from the train station to the airport, and then the plane ride back. Why did I do that? Well, it was the least expensive way to get there, and it sounded like it would be fun. Stalling my stick shift rental car in the middle of a busy intersection in Venice made me quite unpopular with a lot of people for a few seconds. Oh, and I didn't have a GPS in Venice, and so I also got lost a few times, but I made it to my destination safely. When I travel, my main concern is finding the least expensive way to get there, and usually it ends up being quite adventurous as well. Direct flights, I don't like direct flights because usually they're more expensive, and they get you to your destination so quickly that you can't enjoy anything along the way. So after I find the least expensive flights, my next step is to route myself through my favorite airports or any airports that I have not seen yet. The last step is to make my layover as long as possible so that I can go into the city and see what it has to offer or visit the airport lounges. Does anybody else schedule flights like that, or am I the only one? The third reason I'm a crazy traveler is I don't believe in jet lag. Seriously, I just had a 33-hour trip from Minnesota to the Philippines, 4 different airplanes. I went to sleep last night, I woke up this morning, and I feel normal. It's about a 13-hour, 11-hour time difference back in the States, depending on how you look at it. But I don't feel like I'm in that time zone. I feel like I'm here. I am fully adjusted. There is no jet lag, whatever it is that people say you're supposed to have. I think it's a mindset more than anything else. This whole idea that your body is on some clock that has to readjust and it's going to be difficult to do that, I think it's all just made up. Seriously, if someone takes you to the other side of the world and doesn't tell you the time difference between where you are and where you were, I bet you could adjust very quickly because you don't have a point of reference. Maybe sometime I'll just make a video on the whole jet lag myth because I really think it's an over-exaggeration. Alright, I need to go finish getting ready for the rest of the day, but there are three reasons why people might say I am a crazy traveler. What do you think? Do you say, yeah, he's crazy, that is not normal? Or would you say, yeah, I can relate to this one or that one, or maybe all three? Leave a comment below and I will respond to it as soon as I can. If you have not subscribed, feel free to do that so you can see my future videos. And until I see you next time, love God, love people, and dream big. Ciao.